should go to my head. I can take care of it. Take good care of it. Take good care of yours, I say.
Check one. Good afternoon. Bless up, my brother.
Keep up cooling, cause I know you are right.
Ain't tight now streaming on the YouTube. Don't for a look sharp. HD. Ain't tight my Facebook live crew. Instagram crew. Yo, me I tell you, steady man. Just want to say good afternoon, good morning to wherever you're listening in from. One big of all the people in the community. Ain't tight Charlie Venice en route hopefully. Running a little late, but you know it already. Ain't tight album up on the road, that's on the way too. Yeah. Want to take up the time to big up everybody, big up everybody who got church this morning and give thanks and praise and you know the thing there already. We give thanks for life, because without life, you see me I say? Alright, we just a juggle through some tune and if I'll be come in on the road and you know? Alright, so that's it. Oh, God bless.
Shadrach and
something different about that show.
that's in the fire and they never get burned. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's in the fire and they never get
different vibration. Ain't tight, morning afternoon. Ain't tight easy. Ain't tight blue. Ain't tight angel, ain't tight clear. It's all about the rice and peas.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That's in the fire and they never get burned. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh gosh! That's alright, man. This is the nice up to the show, man. I just come from show, but there's some of a different vibration I'm on in here.
Daniel was casting the lion. Yes, the lion. Daniel was casting the lion. Yes, the lion. Jonah was full of in the belly of the world. Jonah lived to tell. Jonah was full of in the belly of the world. Jonah lived to tell.
Check, check, check. Check it out. Check one. Yes, faithful, my guest has come, my guest has arrived, you know. I've been away on his way, we want to run the place right now, you know. Me want to run the place right now. All right. Take this in the last one before, you know. Anytime Vinny's international in the studio. Blessings. International, oh gosh. I've been waiting. Check it in, check it out. What a relevant show right now. What a relevant show right now. It's a shame. In the streets. Well, me, I tell you, man. I dance at each other. Flashing all the powers, down to down, around and around. Stop in my brain while I call my releases. No, I'm not telling you, I'm not telling you. I'm trying to care for you. I'm telling you, Cheers! On to the mic. Check. That's better. Check one. It's like the Facebook Live crew streaming with it. Hello?
It's a shame to see the people fighting in the streets. Throwing guns at the like splashing all the towers from down to down and around and around. Two jockeys stop in my room while I call my broken sister. This must be time, baby. This must be time,
Hey, tight, those lunches, loud and abroad. Good morning, Jamaica. Good afternoon, England. How the do?
Nothing flashing down the streets. Brings my heart to a spicy. Also, one of my innocent brethren got a shot of business and he has got to step aside. Step right from them and they walk on the game. Stop. He's busting and try to live in the alleys. He's busting and try to live.
Student line 07955 600 Aperture.
You know, sometimes early in the mornings, when the children born with the school. All because of those faces, they're afraid to walk on the street, so they liberate them. Really what I want to say, they want liberty to walk along the lesson well. Don't be a fool at this time, you just come down with the fire and stop and stop. It's just you can fly with it, why is not? It's just you can fly with it,
Check one.
innocent blood should not be shed. It's a sin for the Almighty. There's nothing from in the town. And we should just in the woods. And that's why I'm got to put out.
Check one. Microphone check one. How to do? Hello. Check one. Yes, we're gonna start the show off now. Can't wait for the DJ to come in and take time. He's running. I'm running and passing. I'm picking up things for doing. Check one. I want to take the time out to bring up Denise and Charlie. Let's go to Jeremy on this Sunday Rice and Peas show to discuss current affairs going on in our community right now. It's reaching an all-time high with the Woodstone Cage, their own mothers, and yeah, it's getting us upset right now. But yeah, introduce yourself before we go any further.
Charlene, born and bred in Hackney, got a son, very scared of what's going on, and it's resonating and it feels like it's very close to home now. So that's the issue I have with it, definitely.
I'm Denise. Hi everyone. Likewise, born and bred in Hackney. Know many people, many of my friends, my family have sons. You know, it could have been any one of them right now going through the same situation as my friends going through at the moment. And it is just something that I think as a community we need to stop burying our heads in the sand now and come together and try and tackle this, because something's got to give, man. It can't continue like this.
Yeah, it's one too many, far too many, but what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is there really any underlying one solution to solve this problem, or is it a number of things, contributing factors that's ruining our community? What would you say? What would you say on this? You say it's like one wonder thing, or it's going to take years of?
Yeah, I believe it's definitely down to an education thing. I believe that everyone has to believe they have a purpose in this life, and I don't believe that your purpose in life is to go out killing other people. So once you understand that and know that there's a different way to tackle this, like as I said when we were speaking on Friday, Lee, you know, growing up, we got a beef with somebody, you have a fight, you have an argument, you try and quash it if you can and so forth. Now there's not even any talking going on. It doesn't even have to be a beef for people to be getting stabbed, or, you know, it's ridiculous now.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that there's one solution, there's not one answer to everything. You know, it just stems from, I believe, this quick money kind of mentality that people believe that you know, they have a right, that so this is my turf, this is how I'm earning my money, you can't come on my turf, and all that kind of ignorance. It has to be stemmed out. We've got to put a stop to this now.
Yeah. What I'm seeing is, like, I've seen a lot of youths, like, what it is, they're glamorizing certain things, and I think back in the day, maybe things were going on back in the day, but right now things are more exposed now because we've got social media now. That wasn't there. That wasn't there back in the day. So I feel that now the youths are living up to this fake sort of lifestyle to impress, and living on this pride thing, and no one's willing to come together and talk about something. What I'm finding strange as well, like, is the kids are getting younger and younger. I thought there's no age. There's no age to it. So I've always thought early intervention is the key in it. Early intervention, like 5 years old, going just as they're getting into puberty. Those years there are proper, solid, structured years that need to be structured in a kid's life. And I find that if there's not a lot of structure within the household, sometimes this is where things go wayward.
I think you're definitely right, Lee. I think that how, you know, it does have a lot to do with your upbringing. But then if you go and visit any of these jails now, it's not everyone in there from a certain background. Yeah. Everyone comes from different walks of life. Yeah. Everyone's had different opportunities and chances. Yeah. And, you know, it's not that. It's just a culture that we are now living in. Yeah, I believe it's a thing whereby this whole idea that how, you know, you don't have to go out there and work for a living and so forth. It's something that is rife in our community at the moment.
It is, but I'm a firm believer. I believe that is, to be honest, I understand that there's the community, people are advocating, and I'm going to say, as a mother, I kind of thought, yeah, they're doing their thing. But now that is so close to home, I'm like, thank God you've got the your friend, what she speaks about knife crime, various people across London, speaking about knife crime. When you're doing that type of work, it's a lot of input you're putting into it as well. I was a fundraiser for years. I know that kind of work. I went to Adventure Playgrounds, Leah.
Yeah.
To me, I need to apologise because I've worked in Adventure Play for so many years, working with youth, and I've turned a blind eye to it, knowing that I could have probably gone and supported a voluntary group while advocating for teens. Do you understand? And give my specialist information. So I just want to say, first, I want to say thank you to them for trying to do things for our children. Yeah, you need my help, I'll come and help you and do some funding applications. I've been doing it for years, but it comes back down to the community of our children not knowing each other as well. We know each other. You know what I mean, Leon? But our children don't know each other. And that's a big problem for me. Do you get what I mean? They're not mixing. We're not having the christenings, the family barbecues so much as before, going to the community events. We lived in, look at Hackney Downs when we were growing up. They had event upon event upon event. You go Clisso Park, event upon event. Where's these children got to go? And then us as parents, we're saying, boy, we need to stay in the freaking house. We want them in the house. We don't want them on the streets.
We want them safe.
We want them safe. But we have to give children freedom as well. That's something we have to do. And we want to keep our children safe, but it's hard.
Can I ask the question? Because I saw someone yesterday down Near Street, and we was having a quick debate, a quick discussion and so forth. And he was of the opinion that these games and stuff now that we're saying we don't want our kids to be out on the street, and so we want to keep them indoors, but when they're indoors they're playing all these games, these killing games and so forth, and
Fortnite's a big one.
And how much do these games have a part to play in what we're dealing with right now?
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's true. It's the gaming industry, but then we had violent games when we was growing up as well, but it didn't mean that we went out on the street and acted out these sort of things, you know.
But if they're missing the fundamental skills of mixing with other children, going to the adventure playgrounds, going, you know what I mean? Then when they're coming out on the street and they have to deal with someone, they have no tolerance. They haven't got the life skills of mediating, or let's have a fist fight, or they haven't got that. It's like killed or be killed. You get what I mean? Because they haven't got those social skills. So it's a hard one, and I personally haven't got the answer, but I'm telling you, I've got a son and I'm scared.
It's a catch-22, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't let them out, then they turn into a recluse and they don't integrate. But then again, even being streetwise nowadays can't even save you, because the first thing they're doing, they're asking you where you come from. What area you from? You know, you can't even say you come from your mum or your dad. You gotta say what area you come from. It's ridiculous. It's hard for them right now. But I feel the system has got a part to play. I feel that this problem has been embedded in the community for years. Not just last year or the year before or 5 years ago. This is like decades ago. They've been dumping crap in the hood and leaving us like crab in the barrel to sort it all out ourselves. And then they popped up all these coffee shops, they locked up all the youth clubs, and then they just left everyone. They left everyone in the blocks, the pissy alleys, and the pissy porches, and pissy lifts, and that's how we got to know each other. So we had to know each other, get to know each other by blocks. Not by blocks, by areas. That's how they. It's crazy, but I'm hoping things can change. I see a lot of people doing a lot of things.
There is a lot of people doing good things out there.
There's a lot of people doing good things out there. They're praising the positive and all that, but then there's a minority that is dead on just causing harm and destruction. That is just it. It's kind of like demonic. That's how it feels, because there's no heart, there's no conscience, and there's no fear factor either. We had the fear factor back in the day of mums and fathers out, we're getting links. You
Mm.
understand?
Yeah.
I don't care about
But I
us.
think it's down to your values as well, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And then once our parents install, they've installed those certain values, that's
Yeah.
how we live our everyday life.
Mm.
But some of these children are not raised with any values or boundaries.
Yeah.
So they're living their life accordingly to themselves. Do you get what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
a hard one. There's a lot of children living in deprivation, living in some horrible.
And they want an easy way
Yeah.
out. They want if someone offers them a way out of
Oh, yeah.
the lifestyle that they're currently living in,
Yeah.
they're going to take it.
Yeah.
They've got no other opportunities for them at the moment. They might have thought to themselves that the system's neglected me.
Yeah.
They don't care about me.
Yeah.
They don't care
My
about
mum
my
can't help
situation.
me.
And then someone's
I'll get
offering
bullied,
you
yeah.
a big load of money to go and do something.
And it ain't even money, it could be a trainer.
Anything. Could be anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
But it's gonna make your eyes open and think to yourself, well, boy. So I can understand in certain ways why we've got to this place that we're in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Yeah. No.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one.
We know at the end of the day, we
Yeah.
know to ourselves that everyone, I don't think that anyone goes into this thinking that how it's right. But sometimes I think that probably it's justified because of their background or what they've had to go through. You don't know my struggle, or I'd like to believe anyway. I would like to believe that no one goes into this thinking to themselves that this is the right thing and the right way of life to be lived.
But I think they think it is, because I spoke to my daughter.
I think they believe it's justified. There's a
Yeah,
difference.
and my daughter is of that 20. She's 23, and she's like, "Mum, they think it's right what they're doing. Like it's all right and it's acceptable, and they're about this life. It's either you're about it or you're not about it." And I'm going, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You're not understanding. This is how it is." Do you get what I mean? It's just the values.
One thing I was, from our conversation on Friday, one thing that I was thinking about is that we're all sitting here and we're making assumptions about what is really going on. But how many of us, groups and so forth, actually sitting down with these perpetrators and actually trying to get into their sort of headspace and understand what makes them tick? Why do you feel it's okay to do this? And we know that we know people on.
They're just going to say, all they're going to say is basically, because I've asked 1 or 2 of them and they're like, there's no squashing it and people have died. So how do you forget when they've killed your friend? That's the thing, innit? How do you say, all right, that's squash, bro?
Yeah.
That is it, like that's the fundamental bit in it, there, isn't it? Like, who does that? Like, you might walk separate paths, but you'll always have in the back of your head, where's that vibration? Okay.
And then it's a complete retaliation to
Straight retaliation thing. And then
I ain't got the answers, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend that I've even got any kind of clue as to how we resolve this. What I do know is that whereas before I would hear about it and I would feel a lot of empathy towards that family, those people, because it's not just the one family who's lost their child, it's the ones that, are the family of the perpetrators. I feel it for them because they're now embroiled in this whole situation. When it starts getting really close to home, all I kept thinking about, that could have been my nephew, my little cousin, anyone, and that's when you have to say to yourself, right, okay, what can be done? What can we do to try and help the cause? Because as I said, there's no one answer.
That's it.
I'm not an advocate.
No one. This is
but there's other people.
This isn't our field. We didn't grow up to think that one day we're going to try and sit down and try and buffle that in and how to stop knife crime. You understand? But then we've got to think about it. Like,
what can we offer?
What can we offer?
What can we offer?
I had a little thing going on UITC in the community, and it was just about getting people together. And talking about the issues, but then this talking thing, and how many times you're doing this talking thing, and how many times you're going to march? How many times you're going to march? How many times you're going to ask people to sign this petition? How many times?
I think what it does do is bring awareness to it.
But we're aware of it. We've been aware of
Yeah,
it.
I know.
You see that? You see what I'm
But
saying?
I'm guilty of it because there's people who are advocating, they're doing their marches, and I'm like, that's a good job. But
Course
I'm not,
it is.
but
Course it
I'm
is.
not thinking that I could add to what they're doing, being a part of it. Do you get what I mean? Being consistent, how they're being consistent with
I'm
it.
trying to get.
But now it's grinding on me,
Yeah.
and now I feel like it's close to home. I'm like, well, Sharp, you've got all this specialist knowledge and all these skills. Why aren't you helping these voluntary groups within your community?
Yeah.
Now, because it's so close to home, I want to do something about it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, but just talking about what you do. What do you do? What do you do again? Tell them what you do.
I've been in the youth service for a long time. I run Adventure Playgrounds. I'm now in early years.
Right.
So I've done the 8 to 18s, and now I'm working with the 5s, the under 5s.
Yeah.
So for many, many years in Hackney, I've worked in Hackney. I ran playgrounds, as you know.
Yeah.
Took children on residentials, camping trips, all of that. And so I know what was going on, to be honest, because I was sitting there writing application forms so I could get funding in to provide these services. So that's why I feel some type of way as well, because I do kind of know, and I still should have been a part of it, giving my, putting my skills and letting someone else use my skills to better our community.
Yeah, yeah. What
You're
I feel,
still doing good though.
you're still doing good.
Yeah, but I don't think
knock
I've-
yourself.
I don't think I've
You're
done
doing good.
enough.
No, but you're working with our young'uns. You're helping them from that age group to understand and appreciate the person that they are and help them develop as individuals.
But you know why I feel bad about it? Because if this wasn't happening, and if I didn't feel it was so close to home, I'd still be sitting there saying, yeah, knife crime, and oh my God, another boy got. Do you understand? I wouldn't be.
But I think, I think that everyone's
I mean?
gone through that, and everyone's got a trigger point in it. Everyone's got a trigger point that, I think for a lot of us, it's like you live in your little bubble, your little cocoon, and you go about your daily chores and you do your stuff and so forth, whatever not. It's only when it comes into your little circle, when it comes into it and disrupts your life as you know it, then you're going to turn around and say, actually, no, something has to be done. That's true of all of us.
I know.
That's true of all of us.
I hear that.
But what I'm seeing a lot of what it is now, like, if we're saying that we're going to tackle this thing from when the youths are younger, they need to start employing people of colour and culture that understand the realm of where the youths are coming from. What we're getting is a lot of teachers and people that are claiming that they're trying to help, but they're living up in Yorkshire, they're living up in Cambridge.
I think that's us giving an excuse for them, because if you work with children, you want to get to know those children. It's not, they don't live in London and they live out of the borough and whatnot, and they don't understand our children, they don't understand our culture. But if they want to, they will take the time and do so. I think that's an excuse for them. I think it's an excuse, because if you want to work with the children you're working with and you want to get to know them, you're going to do that as an individual, as a person.
But I'm finding there's more and more people from our community that want to be mentors. They want to work with the kids. They've got a story to tell. I think that a lot of the barrier comes from the fact that maybe there seems to be a disconnect. They don't believe that how we can understand what it is that they're going through or what they've been through or why they're doing what they're doing. But what they don't realise that there's many of us as adults, who have been there, have understood it, have gone through and lived that journey.
But
they come out the other side. They come out the other side
did.
and they've got a story to tell. Do you know what I mean? And what they're telling you might just be that thing that you need to understand and that you need to hear. I've been there, I've done that. It didn't do me no good. Do you know what I mean? And there's many of us as adults that have been through that, gone through that whole system and so forth, and come out the other end, and we're just like, what was all that for? But it took you growing up and to go through that to learn those lessons. At the time, you're not thinking to yourself that it's going to end in this way, because it's nice now. Everything's good. Do you know what I mean? But how long does it last for?
Yeah.
How long does it last?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a them and us situation, and I believe that some of our young'uns think that how we ain't got a clue, we don't know what they're going through or what life is for them. And I'm not saying how I understand it all, I don't. But I hear bits and pieces from my family, young ones in my family and so forth. And it's not easy for them out there. It really isn't. It's not easy for any of us, but I think our black boys get a lot of a harder rep than anyone else.
Yeah. They've been profiled. They've been. It's crazy. It's true. But Yeah, beautiful.
Hard one.
This has been interesting. Album is in the morning now. Hope it's gonna save me. We're gonna go for a slight intermission. And we'll be back. We'll be back. Cheers.
know that I need you. There's no one else but you. If you want, call up bells as I later do. Cause I'm home forever. I just keep looking at you and thinking, baby, I gotta stay on the side. Ooh, let's just stay home tonight. Just say what you've been needing. Girl, I'm here for reasons. I just want to be me and you, and nobody else. Don't you get it, baby? It's obvious I need I'm gonna walk my way to please you. Girl, I got the remedy. Don't just need to be. Got to keep this thing so tight. So tight. All about me. All about me. Don't that sound alright? No friends, no business. I said the kids, mama's baby. Rose petals will lead you to the bed, baby. Let's stay home tonight. Let's stay home tonight. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna drop it down like this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is another Black Hair Smash. Yeah, something like this right Saw you from a distance, it caught my eye. Your body's outrageous, it blows my mind. We had a conversation, moving right away. With you for a lifetime, where I wanna stay. Your love is the answer, everything I got. These vibes that you're what can't contain. Girl, everything about you, you're driving me insane. First love when you walk, girl, the way you wear your hair. You got it all together, it's something very rare. One moment, everything I have,
Never loved you up. Too much music. Check one. All right.
Start acting much older. I'm a third controller. Direction, start assessing, no protection. Without your experience, she's open to future.
Check one.
Something that but you ain't but drinking. Oh,
So like Facebook locked you off, how you play some copyright business. So Facebook, well, we started again. Can't see rubbish.
It's gonna be alright.
That's why I cancelled all those. Check one. Check it out. Facebook come up for live streaming. Yo! Yes, my people, respect for those just logging in. This is still the SMP show, but you know, every other day, every other week, and we have the discussions That's going to try to right now. It seems to be this knife culture down in our community. Hang tight, Charlene. Hang tight, Vanessa in the studio. Hang tight with my silent listeners. You know what I mean? Hang tight, our women. But yeah, we had a little intermission break time. And we're saying that the man then needs to take an element of blame. The man that needs to take an element of blame for the problems that's going on right now. Come on, the hot seat here. Yeah, I was talking to the ladies there on the intermission, and they came to a thing saying basically, the man will have a part to play in this as well. Regarding pertaining the structure in the household. Enough of the guys nowadays, basically, they have problems with their spouses and their baby mothers, and they get their dramas, and they totally put the weekend on the side. Like, it don't matter no more. So that we see is mashing up the place right now. Is again, it's called, they call it broken families, isn't it? Don't get me wrong, we've got loads of single moms out there doing their job and playing and doing the 2 years, doing a great job. You understand? But
And there's some fantastic fathers out there.
Yeah.
There are,
yeah,
you know. And there's some fathers that are able to separate whether or not they're with the person or not. They're still there for their kids and got the most highest respect for them. Do you get me? Because it's not just about you and your partner. You and your partner, for whatever reason, it didn't work out and so forth. But you still got these children here that require their parents to be in their lives, and it's about you stepping up and doing that. And there's many of us that are doing that. Sometimes it might not be as much as you would like, you know, and sometimes it's not always as much as the child needs, but you have a presence in their life, and for some of us that's as good as it's going to get, and you have to work with it.
yeah,
And but at the same token, there's some mothers who are making it very difficult for the fathers to have that presence in their life because of what they think the dad should be doing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean as
Yeah.
well?
But I think
So,
that's just the case where they're carrying feelings, though. They have to separate
well,
their
women,
feelings.
we're
for
quite
that.
bitter, you know. We're bitter.
Mm,
We're bitter.
mm.
But at some point, we've got to grow. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And be thinking of the best interest of our children.
Mm.
But I mean, we need to hold our shit together at times as well to get what we want from these men or our partners or whatever. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
So it's a hard one. But I think as long as the dad is doing what he's doing and he's doing his best, I think as mothers, we pick up the slack. Because, you know, if we don't, you know, then the child misses out. But I think sometimes women make it difficult. And not to say some men make it difficult for them, you know, for us to tolerate them around us as well. But we need to grow up as well and find the balance. I'm a firm believer of the balance.
people say the system as well. You know, I say the system's got an element of blame there as well. Remember, I said this thing started a long time ago, where it got to a stage where it's like single parents were more appreciated by society, as in benefits wise. You get more money if you're a single parent. You get more money, yeah, as a single parent. Even like if the baby father stays at your house for a couple of days, they're looking to lock off women's child benefit because they got a thing in their head where if he's staying there, he must be contributing. So this is a thing where I think the system's got a part to play as well.
But Leon, let me stop you. Yeah, the system has got a part to play. It's a big part. But you as a person, when are you going to do better with yourself? Yeah, you can have benefits. You use it as a crutch to the next step to go and, you know, have some kind of ambition that you want to move on, move off of benefits, do something different, go to college, do something with yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? So you as a person, if you want to better yourself, go and better yourself.
Yeah.
It's up to you to better yourself. Can't sit here and just say, no, you know, I'm a single parent. So I know a lot of single parents, mothers, what are professionals, ambitious.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all, you know, we all get in those stages where we need a bit of support or help. But what are you going to do if your children don't see you having ambition? How are they meant to have ambition? But saying that as well, there's some parents who are very ambitious and their children are going to do what they like. There's nothing, we ain't got no control over that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's parents what are not ambitious and they're happy with their children doing what they're doing as well. So it's a, you know, it's a double-sided sword, really. It's hard work being a parent, you know. It's not easy, and you're forever learning as well. I'm still learning. 45 years, I'm still learning. I ain't got all the answers. It's a hard one. I want advice, people. I want advice. I've got a boy. I want advice. Women who have raised sons and they've done it, you know, productively. I want advice. I need support.
Themselves, true. Yeah. Sometimes it's all about the money.
Yeah. It is.
And
Some of them do.
and some
Some of them,
yeah.
I know so many of my friends that are fighting to see their kids. And if they get to see their kids once a month, that's a big deal. And you're supposed to be kissing the woman's feet because she allowed you to see the child for this one day a month. It shouldn't be like that. It's not about you and the man. You lot have produced a child.
Yeah.
That child's coming to this world innocent.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stephen Oram said young people make their own choices. The men have a part to play, but some youths don't respect their elders' advice for various reasons. See now? The respect elements gone.
That's right, Steve. It's so true.
Yeah.
The respect elements gone. You understand?
And the fear factor's
the
gone.
fear factor's gone. They don't fear no one.
And they ain't got no shame either.
Yeah.
Some of these children have no shame
Yeah.
either.
Yeah.
They have no shame. So, boy. And some women, they've got their partners. You know, my children's dad is there for his children and everything. But there's just certain things that he doesn't find important. He's a provider. So he believes he goes to work, provides. And that's his element. And it took a while for me to understand, like, he's not about play. He's not about going to the park and kicking ball. He wants to make sure we're financially set and our home is looked after.
Yeah.
So then I had to understand that's his role, and my role is to do what I do. Well, take them to the community events, take them to the farm. So we got to understand we're not going to get what we expect, or we're not, you know, what our expectations we're not necessarily going to get.
I think
Sometimes.
another thing
plays a key part as well. You can't allow just a school to educate your kids, innit?
No.
Don't just say your kid goes to school and then that's it, innit? Like, you need to have your little thing aside from that, like, i.e., a little bit of black history, like letting them know that they are kings, they are queens, like them big buildings in the city that you see, our people then built those places, like we built those lovely architectural places, and
but that's down to the parent, because for me, I sent my son Manhood Academy, and for me it was very important.
Shout out to Manhood Academy.
Shout out to Manhood Academy. I felt it was important because I felt that he weren't standing strong as a black boy, and he's a king, and he says, I'm saying he's a king, oh, you're a king, you're a this and that, but I don't think he understood it.
What you meant by that.
So I personally went out and investigated. I was very fortunate. My cousin was involved in it, is her partner. So I sent him for him to get a feeling of identity and who he was. Self-worth, self-esteem. So for me, that worked. But that was because I was taking note. If I weren't taking note, then I would have thought maybe he's all right and blah blah blah. But that was definitely an excellent tool for my son.
Yeah, they need to know self-worth and self-esteem, because they're looking for recognition and likes and comments from social media for their self-esteem.
How easy is it for somebody to say, right, okay, I want to put my son on that path? How easy is it for anyone else to put their child through Manhood Academy? Is it an easy process? Are there other organisations out there like that people could be a part of, but are not fully aware of how to go about
That's
it.
true,
What are we
that's true.
doing to promote these
Yeah.
these good
That's true.
services?
That's true. There's a lot of services out there, and I feel that they all need to come under one hub, and everyone just dedicates to what they do, because there's a lot of them doing a lot of things in the community,
Yeah.
but we're not actually sure what they do.
That's
What do
right.
they specialize in? Do they specialize in that youth that just come out of prison and they ain't got nowhere to live, like he's homeless?
Yeah.
Do they like what do they do? Do they that is the fundamental part of it. And what I stayed away from it as well is that people was in it. Some people are in it for the wrong reasons, and that's where sometimes you see some of these organizations start and then they just fluctuate after a few years. Like they don't really stick around. So that's another thing. People don't know what organizations are doing, what they're really doing, and creating results and putting people in the right places. You know what I mean? And that's it. It's true. We need to come under one hub and just do this thing as a one hub. This institution specializes in that. They've got so and so gone through college. He's got this training scheme, this apprenticeship coming up. And this organization's got links to probation that can sort out breaches of probation and things and sicknesses and filling out forms. Filling out forms. Do you know what it's like to fill out a housing benefit form? Like some of these kids are, what's that word? What's that word? Academic. Dyslexic. You understand? Some of them can't read, some of them can't write.
And you know what as well? I've realised as well that just through my own dealings with my friends and so forth, that there are quite a few of us of our age group that still can't read and write for whatever reason.
Yeah, true.
And then if you're not reading and writing, then what are you passing on to your children? Because you're up to an age now where for whatever reason you're unable to do that. Yeah, and then you've got children and you're trying to help them with their homework and so forth, but you can't because obviously
you're struggling.
And then where do you go to get help? Because obviously, to get to this stage and feel that you've hidden it for so well for so long, your child needs help now. But is there any organisations out there that you can go to as an adult and say to them, right, without feeling that shame and embarrassment or whatever, because it's not an embarrassment for whatever reason you just didn't. Do you know what I'm saying? But as an adult, to get to this stage in your life and still not be able to do it, some people might still try and hide it and feel like I don't want to address it. I've got through life so far without doing it. I don't want to address it as well. It's ignorance, isn't it? Once you get to that stage where you feel to yourself, I've mastered how to hide this now. I can, use my. I'm really good at speaking, or I'm quite confident in everything else. But tell me to flipping well fill out a form or something, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So as there are so much organisations that Charlene knows and works with and so forth that are out there to help adults, because I feel that I still need to learn. There's so much things I need to learn. I don't know everything. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I feel that I'm equipped to deal with what I need to deal with, but then there might be others who don't feel so equipped and they need the help. But where do you go to? You ain't going to go down to the job centre and say to the job centre, I need help.
It's true.
But if there was somewhere that to yourself as kind of like a little discreet little place, one away, you could just slip in and,
Yeah, well, it's been interesting. It's been interesting chatting to you. So let me go through some of these comments. Let me see which one I want to respond to. Yes, my people. Thanks for logging on. This is the last and show, but this is what we do.
So Stephen feels that the system isn't to blame. People need to better themselves. People, like we'll say, you've got to take responsibility for your own destiny, basically. Darren Reed, sometimes it's all about the man, not the child. That one.
Men, women, those children are not your baby fathers, they're not your man. Yeah? You know what I mean? Treat children as children, they're not your man. Yeah? All right.
People watching, no comments so far.
All right, then, Albert, up back on the decks. But yes, people, blessings. Those who's loving it.
Hey, yo, Alicia.
We're back.
What's up, man? Man, these J-Dos be killing me thinking they slick. For real. Drop the beat.
Yeah, sound
Hey, yo, Alicia. What's up, man? Man, these J-Dos be killing me thinking they slick. Drop the beat.
Let's talk about the situation, about how you came with information. It's negative in every way, just to see my man in our relation. Say he's cheating, want me to leave him. Check around, I think I'll keep him. You will leave me lonely, that's not what I'm trying to be.
Don't make me think about the smile. I just shout, let it go. I'm really young, 'cause I'm so sick of the song. So tired of seeing so done with me. I'm still here. Said I'm so sick of love song. So sad and slow. I get down to off the and I'm so sick of love song. So tired of seeing she was still here, and I'm so sick of love. Just let it slow. Why
Is it this? I don't know what's wrong with that. That's mine. We did.
Run that tune then.
Today.
I'm trying to do my mic. Yeah, run that tune. Where's my mic gone, bro?
I just think I'm on the cake and do something there. Party and younger blow and all that. Armstrong drinking. The background, is it? Great or something, our virgin them drink and
That one happened.
and give thanks
Came
to
out.
give thanks to the earth and give thanks to Mama.
Check 1, 2. Check 1. Check the sound quality. 1, 2. Can you hear me now? Check 1. Any sound in place, but let me know. If you see this, yes, I 1, 2. So, 1, check 1, 2. Check 1. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What I'm gonna do, what I'm going to do.
Check 1, 2. Hope this sound on crystal. How do I sound? Check 1. Can you hear me loud and clear, people? Let me know. Hearing that the mic quality isn't all that. Last bit of a conversation. How are we going to end it? What are we feeling? What are we saying? What are you reckon?
I don't know, but I know there's a lot of people out there that's feeling the way that we are right now. Boy, I don't know. At some point, as you said, Lee, it's like we've done the talking, we've done the marching. Like, I don't know. I really don't have the answers. I don't. What do you think, Sean?
All I know as an individual that I am going to hello?
Yeah, go on, that's better.
As an individual, as a mother, as a supporter for other mothers, all I know is that personally, I'm going to do a little bit better. I'm going to get a little bit more involved in supporting these brilliant organisations out here, what are doing for our children, for my son, for other children in general. So that's the only thing I could do because I ain't got no answers for it. Do you know what I mean, Leon? What do we do?
Yeah.
We're all out here, the majority of us, trying to be good enough parents. We're dealing with the constraints of work, finances, children going through puberty. You know what I mean? It's a lot. But maybe as a parent, I might need to just step up my game slightly. I think I'm quite aware, but I need to step up my game and maybe help these organisations. If that means just going to an event they're having and bringing my children, I'm going to do it. Do you get what I mean? If they're looking for management committee members and they need someone that has experience in fundraising or something like that, I'm going to do it. Yeah, and that's all I can do. I ain't got no answers for no one. I can't give no advice. I just know that I've got to step up something. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, and that's all I can do.
I just want to say a shout out to all the organisations that are doing stuff in the community. Father to Father, Proud and Gifted, Northern Academy, a lot of them. Fazan Stairs, picking up more roots and like, doing a lot of stuff.
Stop, all of them.
But yeah, we just need to more put it out there and get recognised, and the government, when they're handing out that 2 billion into youth crime, like have a look over this side and over that side down, things that are doing the pavements down there, you get me? Yeah, bring back our youth clubs as well, I think that helps. But people say, boy, enough of the youths, they won't even go to youth clubs, they won't get caught up in it. It's long.
To run a youth club, it's hard work, you know, Leon.
Yeah.
It's hard work. You've got to have everybody backing you. You need the community to run a youth club. That's why I came out of it, because I was tired. I was tired of fundraising. I was tired of not getting the necessary support. I was tired of the government cutting the funding yearly. I'm tired. So it's a hard work, and the youth club is a community hub, so the community should be part of it as well. So them kind of services, it's hard work. It's hard work. Funding, not only for the core funding to run the organisation, for the trips, for the children, you know, to provide certain things for the children. It's a lot of paper writing, reading up on various policies to ensure you put in your application so they can, you know, go over it and say, yeah, all right, they need some support. It's a lot. So I commend those people who are still doing it.
Yeah, it's a lot still, but I'll say this as well, it was a lot when all the cyclists was getting run over by the lorries. They spent millions and they made cycle lanes. Yeah? Right now, the youths are dropping out a mile a minute. So, yo, get your money out and put it in the right places, innit? Because the money's there, innit? So whether it's a lot and whether it's a lot of people, whether it's a lot, like, money, innit? Like, it's all down to funding, and it's all down to, like, putting the money in the right resources in the right places.
But also parents need to be taking note when they see certain things and they know, oh, it don't really resonate or sit well with them. They need to reflect on that and try and do something about it. Do you get what I mean as well? So we've got to take, you know, a bit of responsibility as well. Definitely.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll go through some comments afterwards, but yeah. That's it, we'll just end it like that. But just want everyone to be safe right now. I think Hackney's under Section 60.
Yeah.
But I'm urging the parents to do their own little Section 60 on their own youths and know what their youths are looking at the road with and coming in with.
Go in your children's bedrooms, man. Don't come in my room, mum. No, go in your children's bedroom, man.
Look in their phones. Look in their phones. Yeah. Their account should be connected to your account. My children, whatever they watch on telly, on YouTube, is connected to my phone. I know their history of what they're doing as well. It's all connected to my phone. And I think we need to know that there's some, look at all that heavy duty trap music what's going on as well. The things that they're listening to as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lots to play with it. Yeah. And the videos, man, where they're throwing up money in the air and so forth. Of course, the youngers looking up at this are going to think to themselves, boy, I want to do that.
Is it worth the risk?
You know what I mean? We've got to think of the positive messages that we need to be sending out to our community. Do you know what I mean?
And
we can't be thinking and making them believe that it's all the be all about having designers and having nice cars and all of that. That just helps to add to their aspirations of having this quick money and so forth.
I don't mind. You know what? I'm a spoiler. I'm not going to lie. I'm a parent what spoils. But I used to give my children things. Well, I'm going by it's my oldest. I would, you know, give her presents or whatever, expensive things, because she done well.
Yeah, but
Do you get what I
nothing
mean?
wrong with that.
And
There's
she
nothing wrong with
works
But
for it.
you- but-
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
but you
There's
work
nothing
for
wrong
your
with
money.
that.
If you work for your
Nothing wrong
money,
with that.
Sean,
You've got
you
to
come
praise them.
home.
You've got to
Yeah.
praise
You
them
have
when
to.
they're
Do you know what I
doing
mean?
Yeah.
My daughter does well, and I feel like I want to reward
But-
her.
Yeah.
And that's my
But
that's
some
my
Yeah,
parents
that's
way.
are
what you do,
rewarding
yeah.
children for not doing anything. Do you get what I'm saying? They're
Yeah,
rewarding
but
them
you
for
know
not
what? Do
doing
you know what,
nothing.
Shah? Do you know what? If you're a parent and you can afford to do it, you're earning your money and you want to spoil your
Oh.
kids rotten and buy them everything.
Yeah.
But they know to themselves that mum had to go to work to get that for me.
Yeah.
Do you know
And they
what I
know
mean?
they're not getting it for nothing.
Yeah.
Because there's chores to do in my house.
Yeah,
There's
that's
things
fine.
I just don't
That's
do
fine.
no
You've
more.
got your rules and so
Yeah.
forth. Do you know what I mean? But some of these stars make it seem like, you know, you can just put out a tune, you're gonna get all this money, it's gonna all come to you and so forth. And the truth is that how they're the
I'm
lucky
doing my
ones. They're the lucky ones because there's so many talented individuals that we know.
Oh, our black
So many
children are
talented individuals,
Yeah.
you know, but they're not
Yeah.
getting the breaks and so forth that these other children are getting. And
Yeah.
why is that?
Yeah.
What these youths need to realise as well is they don't just have to be rappers and singers and dancers.
No.
Like there's much more entrepreneurship that you can be doing with yourself, you know what I mean? So it's not all about that. And it's down to the parents to tap in because every youth is gifted in some
Exactly.
shape or form. Yeah. So if you don't take them to the karate lessons,
Yeah.
or you don't take them to the football thing, or you don't take them to the boxing thing, or you don't take them to the table
Yeah.
tennis thing, or the
Yeah.
basketball thing, you won't know what he is good at. You understand?
Or what
Yeah.
his aspirations
Right.
are as well.
Aspirations
Oh,
turns
yeah.
into a fully couch potato around
Yeah.
the PlayStation and then the potato chips on the
And
side.
that's the catch-22 situation because you're trying to keep your child safe, so you're keeping them indoors, so you keep
Yeah.
them all the stuff inside to keep them
Mhm.
busy. Do you get me?
'Cause that's
Hold on.
it's a hard
What I know is the one that is paramount. I know that kids can get caught up, and a lot of innocent ones are getting caught up in the crossfire. But listen, I believe that there is a third, maybe a third of parents out here that don't really know where their youths are from 1 hour to the next,
Yeah.
and that's the problem again. You understand? I know
Yeah.
you lot got to do the work. I know you got to do 2 jobs. I know you got to do these things, but like you need to know at any given time
where
where your youth is.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know where
The
your
child
youth is?
is, yeah. I
What do
don't
you mean you don't
understand
know?
that. I
Like,
don't
how
understand
do you don't know? Like, it's
Yeah.
just those are the things that I feel like it needs to be tightened up. Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
you need to know your child's friends' parents. So that if your child leaves your house and says, "I'm going to so and so's house," well, I'm going to check up on you. I'm going to phone that parent.
Right.
on behalf
And
of you
know
to
that
make
my
sure
child-
you're
Don't just take their word for it. Do your own little investigation as well. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me talk to your parent. Then.
Yeah.
What's this party? What party did you say? What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Yeah. It's not about being idle and loose out here because the devil right now is finding
Oh, he's
work for them idle hands right now, and yeah, that's it. That is the fundamental thing about it. But yeah. All right, so yeah, people, that's the end of our little discussion for today. We will be back maybe in the next couple of weeks or whatever. But yeah, this is the welcome and respect for the niece coming and Charlene taking time out of your Sunday. You understand? To come on, you know?
and the quiet
Yeah.
one in the corner.
Yes, yeah. The quiet one that I didn't quite get her onto the front page, but she's got a lot to say. You know, but I think the sisters would have felt the energy from you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You want to
Next time, she's seen how it works
Next
now.
time.
So next time.
No problem. But bless up my people, let's get back to the music until Facebook don't like us up. But I don't think that Facebook don't fight against reggae, you know. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Reggae.
Yeah. It's all that when you start going to Sony and Motown, like all that stuff, then they start getting a bit strict, yeah. But yeah, alright, yeah, let's go. Alright, bless up. More life. Back to the right side, please.
Tell me where you come from, Kings Where are you come
Check one. Yes, I will get.
from? Rosa baby, wrap up in a bit. We never ever let this in a bit. So we go a bit to the money under a canopy. Come and believe so every black man canopy. Because people love to will read that they love things. Me and Teflon fear, also kill up on the hill. People when me say ill, me a talk plus me drink.
I'm in the about that. When it comes to money, we say we know about that. And if I do it, yes, we say we sure about that. And if I make it in the life, can make sure about that. Where I come from, everyone's happy. So me call wife and tell him to say, don't go take Wall Street or so. Me dreaming about money, y'all.
It's like the burning in the crew. It's like the millions. What's up? It's like Damien. It's like Paul Baker. It's like David. Yeah, weird name. We got this there to do it in family now.
I be giving you nothing but you realize me smart. Don't be a it's a long way from the sun twice. Don't bring disgrace. It's hard to leave the place. All these ways, they got to get grace. They have to make people not get embraced. The truth and the truth and that get grace. So tell to all of those who are good. And you grace. So we so the youths are lost in all these drugs. I'm taking God in the man. Long time them a try bring them, and I just know from a very young. Chat me every day with them funny tongue. Them a
That's a joy. Beautiful sunlight in the morning. From Jamaica to Kenya. As it goes by,
check one.
Taking music, rocking all night. Really go deep, posted on the right. Let me tell you why. You got to keep your music, rocking us all day long, all day long. Keep your music, rocking the breaking sound, breaking sound. Keep your music, rocking all night long. Let's get it sweet with the music. Music, rocking me all night long. You're the one. That's why I'm it's how we are. It was right, and you that's what they said.
Still now lifting If you go to this, if you go to beg you to go and get your hand in if you go to this, you can't stop, you can't try, you can't tell me if you go to this. Come on, there is no better than the things that make better. We can't. Tell the money I run like the feeling. We can't be gonna be respond like that, I can tell you, you go to this my time and speak up this tell me if you go to this tell me if you go to this from your eye I tell you go to
That's a proper subject, bro. That's probably right, some place. I love that church this morning. Love mothers and respect. Application people it's like love. Wow.
Small in a star, I said that never feelings up, feelings up, can't get I said that never feelings up, feelings up, can't get I said that never feelings up, feelings up, can't I remember I would exercise with them, it's an award I said that never feelings up, feelings up, can't I said that never feelings up, feelings up, can't I said that never feelings up, feelings up, why don't you spend some time with me? No excuse, I need you. Baby, I've been so caught up. One thing for sure.
Check one.
So
X-Track Charlotte over there, X-Track Charlotte. Family, big up.
Spend time for me, baby. Spend time for me, teach you anything. You shine, and I now I know what I need, and I'll be sharing my dreams. Don't worry, I'll be standing by you when the sky comes crashing down, and the moon is on the ground, and the world is come to an end. You're so sad, baby, you're so right. I said, I said, give me. I was already in touch. I said, I don't get going. Don't give up. I said, I ain't giving in. Stop for a lifetime. I'm gonna love you all that. I'm gonna love you all that. Let's show me right. I don't worry about the road. That's what I love today. Spanish car, what I'm back to Japan. Feel anything but the wild dog. We're not the gardening, we're jumbling right down. Cause I'm pleased with the family. Some people got making the bread. What they live for which you never had. Certain girl never would have hit me. People talk about gosh to break me, but still no one believe. My work never lazy. I'm some version now was true. The artist now not true. But the art and touchful and all I was fighting. Joke you. Man, I'm turn it up now, turn it up now. But I'm not time for listen to what you know. That's man, I'm turn it up now, turn it up now, yeah. You can't stop the rock show. I'm suffer. No father gonna shine with you light. That's man, I'm turn it up now. One year, turn it up high. Make me step box, but my people can get lost. You want to make that, why you want to live, why you want to get that. You make a guide up to take it out. We are begging what you do. From the evening where I set up and all I want is a big step back. Turn it up now, turn it up now. There's no time for listen to what I want. That's when I turn it up now, yeah. You can't stop the rock show. So far, no father gonna shine with you light. So that man I turn it up now. One year turn it up high. Fool never hurt me. Certain girl never would have hurt me. People talk about gosh to break me, but still no one believe. No work, never lazy. That's the version that was true. The artist now not true. But the art and touchful and all I want fighting. Chuck you. Man, I turn it up now. But I'm not time to listen to what you know. Man, I turn it up now, yeah. You can't stop the rock show. I'm suffer. No father gonna shine with you light. So that man, I turn it up now. One year, turn it up high. Stand and fight for the same time. Try to work as a lecture. I'll be that's for you now. So I was rise in the morning, the first thing I want to do, I get the most I the first. And the brush my teeth out, you want to rush me on because I know I got no time for this. There's so much difference and praise for time Give yourself some rest. Give yourself some rest. Watching my chat, I think we can't stop it. Watching my chat. I think we can't stop it. Watching my chat. I think we can't stop it. And just when I thought time had set me free, cause love's a deep See you radio. I love that. Big up Don City. I don't know these other niggas ain't 100. Make sure you stay locked in.
Yes. Anthony Ward, Beast Release. Big up Don City. You know how it goes.
Yo, you don't know it's your boy Big Toes, Mr. Corner, Mr. You know man style. You're now tuning into Don City Radio.
You already know that it's me, your boy Cream. I love Don City every time.
I shout out my guy Don City, it's Daffy, I'm my superstar shows here. Wait for me.
Yo, this is DJ Maximum from Boy Better Know, and right now you're locked into Don City Radio, yeah? Keep it locked. Shaky.
Big shout out to Don City, London. You don't know myself, Jack, Super Alpha the Dan.
Well, it's a boom, it's a bam, it's a boy, you can dance this. So I'm a Don City Radio, real champion. Yeah, Don City Radio, we say naturally all the way. Boom, this will make you wine. You must go and chicken and dance this one, Don City.
Shout out to Don City Radio, it's Big Hats from the inside, you already know. Big Joe Black, billionaire. You're locked onto Don City Radio, keep it locked. Come on.
Yo, it's your boy Chaos, you know where it is. Big up Don City every time.
Yo, it's your boy LL Marks from the east side. Shouts out to Don City Radio. Make sure you're locked in for the bangers.
Yo, right about now you're a Storm and the original Dan right about now, and you're listening to Don City. So don't you dare change anything and leave it right here.
You don't know, smile like you already know, live and separate, Don City Radio. You know how it goes, trust me. Right.
This is Stammer, and you're listening to Don City Radio.
Yo, this is Scratchy Debus. You're locked into Don City Radio. Warrior thing.
Yo, it's Merkson right now. You're locked into Don City Radio. You're done now.
And you looked into Don City Radio.